Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dan the Glassman here, and you are watching the Glassman's World once again. So, let me just try to center this a little bit real quick. So, today I wanted to talk to you guys about this whole new social credit score that's going to be coming up here really soon, and the whole entire CBDC, centralized banking digital currency, that we're all going to be having to deal with here really soon, guys. I heard that maybe at the end of the year they are going to get rid of money, get rid of dollars and coins, and move us into the digital current CBDC, the digital banking, centralized banking digital currency. Sorry, centralized banking digital currency, CBDC. So the other day we were watching cartoons, like, a whole 5 hours worth of cartoons. We got to about 4 hours and 43 minutes of it, and there's a lot of these old cartoons. These are from Looney Tunes, 1932 through the 60s, right? These are all the old school movies. You find them on the Eighth Man DVD.com. The cartoon classics. We've got a DVD of it. We watch it from time to time, but YouTube's got all of it on here, so you can watch so many different things. So let me just share with you guys this video here, because to me, what I'm thinking is they already have it set up. They already had it set up when they put everyone into the Great Depression many, many years ago, and everyone lost their jobs. The housing market crashed, stock market crashed. So many people lost everything, whereas some individuals gained everything. And all the billionaire tycoons came up, and all these individuals who are now running the countries of the World Economic Forum, all these billionaires, all these elites, they created Wall Street back then, and created the stock exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, and all this stuff, right? But they put everyone through this Great Depression and through the whole stock market crash and the housing market crash and the Dust Bowl and everything, right? And we have learned that history seems to always repeat itself. Now, when I was watching this video, I was like, this is really, really interesting on how it's already set up here from like way back in the days. And I don't know what year this would be, 1940s. But let's play this, and you guys can see, and just tell me what you think in the comments below, or in the comments, the live comments right now. How do you feel about like what I'm seeing? Do you feel the same way about this? I don't know how long this video is, how long this cartoon is. Let's see. It goes till about 4:48, 4:49. Okay, so somewhere around there. And we are at 4:43. So what, 6 minutes? All right, so 6 minute video right here, guys. We're gonna keep this one real short and sweet. And also, let me just say that I do not own the rights to this video. This video has been put on public domain. It was released by the United States government, and it presents point rations of food, point rationing of foods, released by the Office of War Information Bureau of Motion Pictures. So just so you are aware, the United States government and Hollywood has always worked closely together, hand in hand. And these cartoons, like I was just saying in the video before this, that a lot of things, like, we talk about the Simpsons, and oh my gosh, the Simpsons predict so many things. Like, no, you guys, truth is always hidden in fiction. You got to remember that. So much truth is always hidden in fiction, and they have to let you know through certain things. So these people are part of motion pictures. They're part of Hollywood. They're part of all of that. And so when they are releasing movies and letting you know that certain things are happening within these movies, they're also letting you know publicly, like they have to do, like, anytime that there's a divorce, you have to publicly announce it in your local newspaper. If there is a home that is being foreclosed, the bank has to publicly announce that in like the newspaper. So these are just public announcements on showing you that what they're doing, right? Back in the day, Jack Herrera, he found, as he was in the military, in the army, I believe. I don't think it was the Navy, but I believe he was in the Army. He had some duty of going through some records and files and looking for something, and he came across a video, a VHS tape, that was titled by the United States Department of Agriculture, called Hemp for Victory. And he discovered this movie that was created that was talking about promoting hemp and growing hemp during World War II and all this stuff. And then they hid it. So they promoted all this stuff and then they hid it. And then only up until recently have we now started to legalize for, of course, for medical reasons. But in our state, in New Mexico, it's actually recreational. So always remember that these things are always hidden and always announced and all this stuff, you guys. So this information right here, it's information in a cartoon. So maybe parents were watching it, but it was really for kids, right? So we were watching it yesterday and I was like, whoa, I want to cover this. So I'm thinking they got the point system already set up. They figured out how you're going to have to do it. But just imagine now, we are now on a social credit system where people like you. If they don't like what you have to say, you are either called like, a tinfoil hat wearer, or they just cancel you, right? You get shadow banned and blocked. Your algorithms go down. You're not pushed up into the top of the algorithms to where people can see your videos. People don't like your videos enough. They don't comment enough. So it doesn't help your algorithms. And people don't realize that your algorithm's already getting pushed down. So sharing this sort of information out, I already know is going to continuously push me down and everything. But let's just play it and you guys can see. So my credit score, my social credit score, is going to be really low if I continue to do these things once we get to that point. And I don't know how we're going to start. I don't know how it's going to be because people have money in the bank right now. Are they going to convert money, federal notes, Federal Reserve notes, the US dollar, the federal notes, are they going to convert the federal notes into some sort of a value system like what we're going to see here? And then you have this credit score that's based on your wealth, of course, how much you've worked, what you're supposed to be getting as far as retirement and things like that. It's going to be like that, if you have 401ks or if you don't have anything in the bank, and so, or is it just going to be like, oh, everyone's credit has been wiped clean and clear. We all start on a clean slate. Everyone now gets a monthly income. What do they call it? The BMI, I think, the basic monthly income. And so they've been pushing for that. A lot of individuals have been pushing for that. And this basic monthly income would allow people to have a certain spending expenditure every month. And then you could possibly earn more credits through social credit things. So by telling on your neighbors, you could actually get more points. They've been doing this in China. You get more points, whereas people who are getting caught doing things wrong, you're not wearing the mask, sir, and you get points dinged and deducted from your social credit score. So moving forward into what's going to happen here soon, once they remove the dollar and everything, unless we start bartering our goods and our services directly to each other, we cut out the middleman, we cut out the use of any paper money, any more, like, let's stop using monopoly money. If you want to go back to God's money, that's in the elements. That's the gold and the silver and the other elements, the copper, all the different metals and things. But other than that, we can go back directly to bartering with one another, goods and services, and cut out the middleman and have no way for them to tax it or add any extra value for them to take a little cut off of it for them doing what? Watching you do your transactions? Like, you don't need anyone watching you do transactions. Like, get out of my business over here, right? So, let's move forward with this video and watch what's being released by the Office of War Information, Bureau of Motion Pictures.
Wartime America faces the greatest demand for food in our history. Food for our Army and Navy. Food for the invasion front. Food for ourselves on the home front. Food to help.
You notice that it was food for our Army and Navy first, right? Food for our home front. Food for our working class families. Just want to point that out.
For fighting allies and the people of the Allied countries. It takes pounds of food a day to keep a soldier on the fighting front. Millions of pounds of food each day. The best way to supply our men overseas and our fighting allies with most of the foods they need is in dried form and in cans.
MREs.
In addition to the military,
Yummy.
other factors affect our canned food supply. Take tin, for example. Our major peacetime sources have been cut off by the enemy. Our railroads and other transportation facilities are being taxed to their utmost, carrying munitions, armaments, war supplies, and troops. That leaves less shipping space for civilian foodstuffs. And then there's the farm labor shortage. All this means...
Okay, so right now, they're talking about all these things are going to disrupt civilization, right? And one of those is the trains, right? So we got all this stuff going on with like the Ohio train bomb and everything with the derailment up there in Norfolk Southern trains, right? And everything happening in East Palestine, Ohio, right? And then they're talking about the farmers and having a shortage of workers for the farms. Well, now we're having a shortage of farms, guys. They already done figured out during the pandemic a couple of years ago, that for the last few years, how to remove farmers. And they've been like doing this whole food shortage thing, but really there's been no food shortage. They've been just telling farmers that no one's buying, or you can't get your supply anywhere because they cut off the whole shipping and all the freight was stuck over at the docks and all these different things, right? So they've created this halt right now. And it's been building up, you guys. This is about to happen. Everything that this cartoon, this little fake little thing made for kids, has a lot of truth to tell you, all right?
That we at home will have less canned fruits, vegetables, soups, and other processed foods for our use. Without rationing of these foods, some people will get more than their fair share. Others would not even get what they need. But rationing assures everyone of his fair share. That is why your government is rationing canned fruits and vegetables and other processed foods. Until now, we have been rationing one item at a time, like sugar and coffee. But processed fruits and vegetables are not one product. They are hundreds of products in hundreds of different brands, grades, sizes, varieties. In cans, bottles, packages, in dried and frozen form. One cannot say, as in the case of sugar.
You guys heard that Biden's talking about rationing everyone to only drinking one beer a week or one drink a week? I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Don't like spinach. Some of you may want to buy canned corn. Others of you may want to buy canned peas or spinach. So the question arises, what method of rationing can be used so that each citizen may get his fair share of canned fruits and vegetables and other commercially packed foods, and that will still allow freedom of choice? The system which has been adopted and has worked successfully in England for over a year is called point rationing. In the point
in England, so we're still under under the jurisdiction of the English rule. So they're following this. That this is the point system. And where's the World Economic Forum and all these individuals and Klaus Schwab and all these people? All right.
Rationing system. All these foods are grouped together, and your ration book is used to buy those you like. Those items which are not so scarce will take fewer points. Items which are more scarce will take more points.
All right, so items that are scarce. So right now they're making beef with scarcity, and they've already had like so many, like toilet paper. Remember TP was a scarcity. So many other different things. Like a lot of the processed foods were like not on the shelves during the whole pandemic. But then, you know, me and my family, we go and we shop for all the fruits and vegetables in the produce area and try to get organics when we can. And a lot of those foods were always there. Her gluten-free breads were always there. Her almond milks were always there, but dairy milk, cheese, dairy cheese, sour cream, yogurts, like those kind of things, eggs. You know, eggs were such a shortage that the prices started to go up, right? So then you have this high point value system. But right now, they're going to start introducing foods with, you know, the bug protein, adding crickets into your food and your diet, getting people to eat the Impossible Burgers and the what are they called? Beyond Beef, Beyond Meats, and so we got individuals now, and I would prefer to be a vegetarian. I'm a wannabe vegetarian. I want to be a vegetarian, but from time to time, I still do eat animal product from time to time. Not proud of that. But I also am completely against the Beyond Meats, the Impossible Burgers, all of this what do they call it? Hemo, I forget what do they call it? Global hemoglobin or something like that. Such a hemoglobin. Like, what is this stuff? And so they basically are creating, figuring out how to make the plants bleed from their amino acids in order to create a beef-like texture, meat-like texture. So, okay, I just wanted to add that. Don't forget, back then, they had processed goods, processed foods back then, right? Now they're adding these weird processed foods, guys. And we're going to keep this short and sweet because my battery is at 15%.
Point stamps to buy these ration goods are in War Ration Book 2. This book contains blue and red stamps. Blue stamps are to be used for canned fruits, vegetables, soups, juices, and other processed foods. Red stamps will be used for meat. This is a typical page of blue stamps in War Ration Book 2. Notice that the stamps are given point numbers, 8, 5, 2, 1. Everyone will get 48 points each period. That means you will use blue stamps ABC for the first period, DEF for the second, and so forth. Point values will be the same in all stores. Every store in which you shop must post the official table of point values of all point ration items in all sizes. From time to time, point values may change, and stores will post the new point values.
All right, so think of these points here, and just think of like a social credit system, right? We don't have any more money now. We're all just worrying on credit and stuff. So if you're like not following rules, you're posting up videos like I do here, then you're going to have less points in order to get any of this stuff. And you won't be able to get like the really good stuff. Like, look at that pineapple 5, 8, and 11. It goes up even more and more by that last week because your supplies are diminishing at that point. So it's crazy. And grape juice, look at that, grapes. Maybe grapes are always in abundance, but not anymore, right? Because what do? There's the drought in California. Napa Valley ain't got no grapes. So you look at their numbers of what they had back then. You can see fruit cocktail, grapefruit juice, grape juice. Those are all low. But then these are all higher. Peaches, pears, pineapple juice. Those are way high. And pineapples, you only get those from places like Hawaii. We ain't going to have any pineapples here pretty soon. They're going to have a shortage. They're going to, I don't know what's going to happen. I know that Dole Plantation's on Oahu, but things are going to trickle from what's happening already. All right, let's continue. Sorry, I'm going to keep breaking this video up, I know. But it also helps out with no copyright infringement.
Here's an example of how point rationing works. This lady, all decked out with her family's brand new ration books.
All right, check this out.
To do some shopping. First of all, she wants to buy a can of peas. She wants to buy a can of chicken soup. And she wants some dried prunes.
Prunes for the first week or two, like free.
To be done is to tear out 14 points in stamps and pay the grocer. But wait just a minute. Just for fun, let's take another look at that point ration table. Hey, slow down there. What about those string beans? Why, they're only 3 points in the size we want. If we buy those instead of peas, we can save 5 points.
See that?
Fresh apples.
You're going to have to think about.
Huh. Well, why not buy those instead of dried prunes? And save another point.
So they're saying we have always an abundance of apples.
Shopping list complete. With the same amount of goods.
There are some foods that there is always an abundance of throughout the world. And there's foods out there that people don't even eat. They call weeds and they call other things. There's so much foods out there, guys. You got to learn what are the native edible weeds that are in your neighborhood and stuff like that. In your yard, in your front yard, right there.
Smart girl. She's smart in more ways than one, too. Because she used her large stamps first, wisely saving her small ones for low-point purchases later on. Because she shops early in the day and so helps her grocer. Because wherever possible, she substitutes unrationed fresh fruits and vegetables for canned or processed ones.
See, so
is point rationing.
So she had to figure out how to bring the points down in order to use only a certain amount. So what's going to happen soon is when we get into this whole centralized banking digital currency, they are going to ration us with how much expenditure we are going to be given, because they're going to give us a basic monthly income here soon. Right now, they've got a lot of people in unemployment. They got a lot of people who are just wanting to get another stimulus. How many people are just waiting still for a stimulus check? Where all the elite, what are they doing right now? They're banking. They're making so much. They're just coming up. Who was it? Gates? He did like tenfold, or was it Fauci? Did like tenfold, went from like 1 billion to 10 billion in wealth in a matter of 2 years, 2 or 3 years, all through that lockdown. So as everyone is getting pushed into this whole, we need to ration this, and there's not enough gas, there's not enough bread, there's not enough toilet paper. You think that the elite are rationing anything at all? They're going to have everyone on this social credit score system, and people like me are not going to have anything to spend every month. We're going to be like, we're going to have to trade our goods and our services. That's the thing, is barter is going to come in handy, guys, for many, many, many of us. It's going to come in handy. Because a lot of us are going to have to barter and be like, yo, what do you need done? You know what? One thing that I've learned is no matter what, even through the whole entire pandemic, the weeds including the edible ones that people don't eat, they never stopped growing. People's yards never stopped growing. Their houses continued to dilapidate, and they still needed a repairman. They still needed a handyman to come and work. You know, they still needed someone with basic hands-on experience and tools and things like that they could come and do their work, because they didn't have the knowledge and they didn't have the tools to do so. These are the things that individuals like myself, we are going to become very wealthy in that sense. That many individuals are going to be coming to us requiring our help, and we'll definitely barter. Like, how many rations do you need? Oh, cool, bam, boom, done. See, the thing is, we don't need money, guys. We don't need them to get in the way and be a middleman. All you have to do is start bartering. I do run the 505 Barter Club on Facebook here in our area in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It ain't really doing much of anything. People aren't really interested. And it's very shocking and surprising to me that people aren't interested in bartering right now, when, you know, every day we're getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer to what was going on way back in these days when they had the war ration book. We're moving into this, guys.
This is the way to assure everyone here at home an equal opportunity to get the same fair share. This is the way to assure food for our fighting men and for our fighting allies. Share and share alike is the American way to victory.
Victory! Right? Peace. V. V is for victory. So, that video right there, I just wanted to point out the fact that there's the numbers, the point system. How easy is it going to be for them to simply implement this once again? They already know how to do it. They've done it before. And everything's already set up on a dollar point system, you know, and all they got to do is simply just, you know, instead of it being $3, it's 3 points, you know, $1, 1 point. We won't have anything that's like 50 cents. You know, you go to the store, what can you get for 50 cents? You can't get a Coke for 50 cents. They're now like $2 for single servings. And then you get the 2 liter for 99 cents on sale sometimes. It's so weird, right? You go and you buy a 16-ounce bottle of water for $2, right? $2 or $3. But you can go get a 5-gallon filled for $2.50. It's like, oh man. So, yeah, this is going to happen soon. We are going to have to ration our goods and our services. People, I don't know if you know this, but during the pandemic, they started to go in and pay off the farmers 2 to 3 times the value of their crops. Basically telling them that, you know, let's say that they're going to make $1 million that year. If they continue to grow, that means, you know, continue plowing the fields, continue hiring and paying for the workers, and continuing to run the machines and also repair the machines, to work on the machines, to keep all the farm, you know, have all of your tillers and all of your, you know, anything you need, whatever you need to run, like all your tractors and all of your, like, I don't work on a farm. I don't know what they need. You know, I'm all like, for me, I'm like, yeah, I work in the garden. You need your shovel, and you need your hula hoe and your other regular garden hoe, and you need your hand trowels and your rakes and things. Like, I don't know big time production on farms, but all I know is that they came in and they said, hey, you make $1 million when you're done. Well, how about we shut down production right now, in the middle of production? You can have all your employees go home. You pay them. We are going to pay you 2 to 3 times. We're going to give you $2 to $3 million if you shut down production right now and just quit farming for the season. And how many farmers are like, oh yeah, thank you so much. I'm so worried about this year. You know, we weren't really gonna make it. We really didn't think that we were gonna have ourselves up. You know, we were really worried about the water supply coming in, and this torrential weather that's been coming in and messing with our farms and our crops. Yeah, I could really use that money. All my employees, they could really use the money. Their families. You know, we were worried about whether we're going to be able to feed them or not. Let some of them go. Now we don't have to let them go. Oh yeah, I'll take that 2 million, 3 million. You said, oh, 2 million. I'll take 2 million. That's twice as much. Yeah, but if you offer 3 million, I'll take that 3 million too. So you know how many farmers actually took that offer? So many farmers did. And then what I heard was not only did they stop production, but some of those individuals came in and scraped a foot of the topsoil, 1 foot deep of topsoil off the top of these crops. So they can't grow no more. Do you know how long it takes to recreate 1 foot deep topsoil? Do you know? It's at least 100 years. You know? So it's pretty crazy to think what's happening these days and what's going on. Sorry, I got distracted by a text. I may have to let you go to see what's going on. Maybe there's a family member that we may have lost. I got completely distracted by that text message coming in. Sorry about that, guys. So, I don't know what I was talking about. All I know is that this is going to happen. That and that they pulled off that foot of topsoil. It takes 100 years for that topsoil to grow back, at least, you guys, at least, you know, and that's putting in a lot of work to make that happen. So they scraped a foot of topsoil, they put it into the evergreen containers, shipping containers, they shipped it back to China. So you guys remember back in the day, a few years back, all these mysterious seeds were popping up, right? All these mysterious seeds were coming up, and people are like, what are these seeds? Why are they popping up? Some people would grow them, right? They put them into their soil, and they'd grow them, and they found out that they were some kind of a weird cucumber or some kind of gourd or something from China. These seeds from China, they were just shipping them to people, and some people planted them. Some people were like, what are these? I don't know what they are. Some people just threw them away, right? What if they were simply just seeing if people would plant it, and if it showed that their seeds were growing in our soil? What if they were just testing that, guys, and now they got our soil going directly to them? They paid all these farmers, and now we're going to have the Dust Bowl because they scraped all of the topsoil. So they messed up the whole biosystem that's within all the everything, all the flora, all the fauna, all of the algae, everything that's within the soil that creates living soil. They desecrated it. They scraped it all on many plots of land all over. Those farmers thought that they were doing good by making sure that they weren't going to go belly up and lose their businesses, right? And have to fire some individuals. They didn't realize the bigger picture of it all. And that now we got this illness called valley fever going around, and these spores that are coming up from the soil, and it's messing with people, guys. And this Dust Bowl is going to be worse than what had happened before, and it's going to create all kinds of new sicknesses. And then, of course, you know, we got the whole bioengineering and the whole weather manipulation and modification above us going on, and whatever they're dropping down above us and what we're breathing in. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always congested. You can hear it. It's in my lungs. You know, Maybe because I've been smoking more flower than I've been doing dabs. I got used to doing dabs and flower, and maybe that's the case. But I'm not a cigarette smoker. Maybe I need to drink more tea, more Tulsi tea with the ginger and the lemongrass. Do that daily. Um, I'm not sure. I did have a studio for a while where eventually I found out or realized that there was mold in there, and I was like, I really need to get out of this situation. So I could also have issues with mold and things like that. But I don't know. There's a lot of other individuals who've been saying that they have upper respiratory congestion and this like sort of like thickness within their throat, like a phlegm that they just cannot get rid of. I don't know if you guys having this issue too. Comment below. Let me know. Let us all know. But with that being said, things have been happening, pre-planned, meditated. It's been going on for decades, for millennia now, and the rich keep getting richer, and we just keep on continuing to be enslaved underneath all this. So in another week or two, they're saying by the middle of we're not even in September yet. September 1st, apparently there's going to be a strike. We'll see if everyone strikes. I work for myself. I blow glass. I just won't make any sales that day. Like that's hard. Like I made sales yesterday or the day before. And, for me, I have to hustle to make my sales. So, I'm not making any money off any of this time, energy, effort here. I still am under 1K subscribers. And even when I get 1K, that does not mean YouTube is going to monetize my channel. That does not mean they're going to monetize me. I could put up donations, GoFundMe, and all that stuff, but I don't really like to be a digital panhandler. I like to just work for my living. Maybe eventually, if things start to progress and I actually get a little bit more, more traction here with the channel, more people watching, and we get like hundreds of thousands or a million subscribers or whatever, and we're really getting this information out to the masses, then I'll put up some sort of a Venmo or my PayPal or Square, whatever it is, and I can get paid for my time and energy doing this stuff, and then this can be my daily job and my career and do this as a living. But for now, I'm going to continue hustling, blowing glass, being an artist, bringing you guys the content that I feel is important, the stuff that's all around my world, everything that pertains to me. This is all for my own personal enjoyment and for those of you who enjoy it as well. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, allowing me to rant. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. If you want to check out this video here, it is on YouTube. It is the Looney Tunes 1932 to 1960 5 hours compilation. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Chuck Jones. We got Chuck Jones that does art here for the Balloon Fiesta coming up here really soon. We're getting our balloon crew ready. If anyone's local, they want to come and help out with the balloon crew, we will be flying with the Dawn Patrol in the morning, the early morning, at the world's largest, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And that's every year. And I will go live when I am up in the air. I'm pretty sure I will get to fly, maybe on that first day. Anytime that there's any kind of crazy wind or fog or anything like that, Dawn Patrol, us balloons, there's only a dozen of us or so. We get to go up first and test out the air quality and the flights and patterns, and then they figure out whether they're going to ground the rest of the balloons or not for the day, or maybe delay flights for a little while, or what has it. So, we get to go up in conditions that most other balloonists necessarily don't go up, and it's our own call. We won't put ourselves in danger. That's for sure. That's for our pilot is one of the best in the world, and he's proven that because he's invited to so many different things that it's just ridiculous and amazing. Flying over the Andes during the eclipse, going over Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't remember exactly where he was recently, in the Alps or somewhere, but oh my gosh, so beautiful what he does without us. We only fly during Balloon Fiesta here in Albuquerque. We're kind of used to Albuquerque. I would love to go around the world with him and fly the balloon. I would love if, man, imagine if this channel blew up and this became my living. Like, hey, let's go fly balloons, guys. And then that's what I shared with you guys every day. That'd be fun. And then the Glassman's world would just become a crazy balloonatic world here. All right, well, with that being said, we completely went off to a whole different place, but we're getting ready for Balloon Fiesta right now. And that's this time of year right now. So if you're local and you want to come and join us, comment below, somehow get a hold of me, and I'll let you know details. Just be ready to wake up at 3 a.m. every morning and meet us by 4 a.m. You can't be late. We're done. We're gone by 4:20 in the morning, so we can get on the field by 5 a.m., start unloading and unpacking so we can be up in the air by 6, unless we're grounded, and then we got to pack everything back up, and then but if we fly, then we go chase, and then we're part of the chase crew, and then we help the balloon come down and land safely, and we pack everything up, and then we go back to the field. We're always the first ones up in the air, so we're always the first ones usually to get back to the field, and we get to watch the rest of the balloons fly off from the field and even come and land. We get to see a lot of the on-field activity that happens, all the competitions and everything like that, and then special shapes and all that. So, that's what's going to be happening here really soon. So make sure that you subscribe so you can see all that stuff going on with Balloon Fiesta and get a free flight with me whenever I go up. Might be once, might be several times. You never know. Depends on how big our crew is and whether or not we all fly, or we might have some volunteers that he'll get up. Only one person can go in the balloon with him. So it's a private flight, beautiful flight, and but then as soon as you land, you got to be ready to work. So with that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. Come watch some cartoons with me here. Come watch balloons soon. I'll be blowing glass in about, 10:30? So in an hour and a half, or maybe by 1 o'clock, at least by 1 o'clock, we'll be doing Music Mondays. And I may just play a little kid's ukulele because my guitar is busted and broken. And I need some time to fix it. So I'll see you guys soon, about noon, Mountain Standard Time. We'll see you then. Love and blessings. Have a good one.